Welcome to my Hebrew channel, Miel Hebraica, Hebrew Honey. And today we're looking at the portion of Ruth, Ruth 1, verse 16 and 17. This is one of the more favorite passages of the book of Ruth. It's where Ruth expresses her loyalty and her commitment to staying with her mother-in-law, Naomi. And in that regard, I remember way back here, many years ago, I'm not even going to try to calculate that out. When I was in seminary, one of my profs says, okay, we're studying this passage, but don't use it in weddings because this is the relationship between mother-in-law and a daughter-in-law, not really relationship between a husband and wife. I have to say, first of all, yes, that's very true. On the other hand, it is an indication of the kind of commitment that's required really to stay connected within a relationship, within a family. The strength of a family depends on this kind of relationship, this kind of commitment, this kind of sticking together all the way to the grave. So it is, I'll give permission. Anybody who wants to do it, go ahead. Use this passage in weddings. Great little passage, a whole sense of committing, very strongly. And it's a very interesting story because Ruth, who is a Moabite woman, is using a vow made before Jehovah to affirm what she's saying. Okay, may the Lord add on to this, or may the Lord punish me if I don't commit to this kind of thing. And so it's a Jehovah-based vow that she makes here at the end of this passage here, which is very unique. It means that Ruth at this point has now committed to service to Jehovah. It's Chemosh is behind, Moab's behind. Any new vows and any new commitments I make will be made on the basis of committing to Jehovah and to the people of God. So it's a very interesting passage. Let's get to it. It's one where verbs and nouns jump back and forth between second person and first person. The person of each word becomes very important, and which means that in almost all cases, just a single letter jumps it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like a little bit like a game of ping pong. That's how these verbs and these affirmations jump at each other. So it's very, very interesting structure and very interesting way of saying it, and it allows us to review how second person words are formed and how first person words are formed, both in the prefix form and in the suffix form. In the verbs, it's in the prefix forms. In the nouns, it'll be the suffix. The endings of the nouns are what determine whether it's second person or first person. So we'll get into it. But Ruth said, do not urge me, don't push me, do not urge me to leave you, as azav here, this means to abandon you. Same word that says in Psalm 22, Eli, Eli, lamach azavachtani, azav. Don't urge me to abandon you, to leave you alone. Okay? Don't urge me to abandon you, or to return, yashuv, from following you, from going behind you, aher, okay, from following you. For where you go, I will go. So this here is a second person, you, and this goes on to first person then, second person, first person, and where you lodge. And it's a very interesting word here, lodge. It's based on lin, which is a verb form, the verb that's used to form the word laila, the night, staying the night. Lodging is staying the night. And what we find here is a very interesting sense of foreshadowing. In other words, the author here is saying, "Oh, she's going to stay the night." That's the major part of chapter 3. Stays the night, and so I will lodge there. I will stay the night. Aline, and I will stay the night. Stay the night. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people, okay, amecha, and shall be my people. Your God, my God. These are both in the plural form, but since we're talking about the true God, we translate them as a singular. Where you die, I will die. Okay, I will follow with my death, or hang around long enough so that I can be buried together. In other words, and in ancient times, there were what we call family tombs. In other words, most probable that that Elimelech had some kind of tomb there for his family. Elimelech, by the way, was buried away from his family tomb, which is, incidentally was a great disgrace when you were buried away from your family tomb. But here, Naomi would be buried in the family tomb, and then Ruth would expect the same. Now, means that whoever received her in Bethlehem, you wouldn't want to profane a family tomb with a pagan person. So the people in Bethlehem would have to accept that she had also come to the Lord, and then would have the right to be buried with her mother-in-law. And then may the Lord, okay, may Jehovah, Yahweh, may Jehovah do so to me, add on to me, and more also, even more, if anything but lamavet, the death, parts me from you. Parid. This is anything that comes between me and you. The only thing that will come between me and you is death. I'm into this right to the very end. Commitment that really going to last an entire lifetime. This is something very strongly committed to. So, yeah, beautiful passage, and we're going to get into some of the Hebrew structure here. I'll have some of the key words, some of the key things going back and forth here, and with the different personages. Now, as we see, there are numerous. These are all what we call kind of coupled pairs here. This one's Telechi, Elech, Telani, Alin, Imech, Ami, Elohecha, Elohechi, Elohai. You go, I go. Okay? Telech. Now, just take a look at how the roots are working right here. This is the to walk, halach. Okay, look it up in dictionary. It's hey lamed kaf. Okay, hey lamed kaf. The hey in both cases has disappeared into a feticist. In this place, we have the prefix forms here. Oh, these are prefixed, right? Well, these two anyway. So you have telehi, that's you. So this tau expresses you, second person singular. And then you go back to I, okay, elech. I go, I walk, I will go. That context indicates that this is something she's looking forward to. So translations is going to be in the future tense in all of these cases here. So telechi, elech, telani, alin. Lin, by the way, is the root here for staying the night. Okay? And you see the very same root right here. Lin, lamed yod nun, right in the middle here. Staying the night. I'm going to stay. You stay, I stay. Where you stay, I stay. Okay. We're going to be sharing a room. And as I said, staying the night is foreshadowing and something the author now is pointing forwards to the time that this also be reality on the threshing floor. She would come and stay the night. She's committing, in other words. And incidentally, Naomi does tell Ruth, okay, whatever he tells you, that's going to happen. He wants to straighten things out. He's going to fulfill the functions of Goel and of the Redeemer. And stay and listen to what he has to say. So, Telani, Elani. And now, these are here are both verbs, okay? To go, to walk, to stay the night. And this now it's switched up to nouns, and switched out also to suffix forms of the nouns. Okay, so amech, that is your people. Okay, your people. The kaf here at the end is yours. Second person singular feminine. Amecha would be masculine. Amech would be feminine. Okay, amech, ami, my people. Your people, my people. Okay, your people, my people. Ve'elochai, Elohayech, Elohayech, Elohai. I went back and checked the codex, and the codex does put a rafe on the top of this aleph here, which allows me to kind of stretch what's going on with this setic here. Ve'elohayech, Ve'elohayech. Take this setic and just give it a little length to it, okay? Ve'elohayech. Rafe. It's a little unusual to find a Rafe on top of an aleph, but Rafes generally appear on top of what you call Bagat Kafet letters that are running soft without a dagish. So, but here Rafe is on top of this particular aleph, which gives a little bit of length here. Elohai Yich. Elohai, your God, my God. Plural forms, but very much a singular sense to this word of being your God, my God. Jehovah is your God. Jehovah will be my God. Tamoti, this is again the root here is mut, mem suritau, mem suritau. And we can start with this a little bit simpler here. You got the root and then the first person singular prefix, I die, or I will die there. And tamoti, you will die. Okay, you will die, I will die. Okay, so hopefully starting first with no, Misha is the older one, so you die first, and I will die sometime after that. And then ekaber only appears in the first person singular prefix form. Again, we're back to verbs here, as you can see from the prefixing. And here it is too, ekaber. You don't have the takaber, in other words, you will be buried. You just simply have sham. That's it. And there, I will be buried. Okay, you will die. You will be buried. I will be buried. But the author doesn't bother putting the first pair of kaber in a second person form. Puts it only in the first person of her being buried. I will be buried. I am buried. So kaber. Kol, incidentally, it is a verb, but same word is also used for a tomb. Okay, kaber. Kol asa. Okay, and thus will he do. And this is in reference to Jehovah. We have seen this verb previously. In fact, it's only kare in the first chapter of Ruth, where the Masoretes wanted to have this last he removed. In this case, it's the very same construction basically, but it stays right there, and because it's probably not surrounded so much with a lot of other hey ending words that happen to be feminine. So there's not much confusion here of this. This then is the root. Okay, this is ayin, sin, hey, and the hey at the end is the root. It's not a feminine verb here. Okay, yashe, and he will do. He must do. We call Yoshif, and he will then be Joseph. Yosef is to add it on. Okay, this is kind of a standard vowel sequence. In Hebrew, it's sort of an idiomatic or the way Hebrews would say it. May the Lord do and may the Lord add. Okay, Lord do and the Lord add. So what the Ruth is calling down is saying, okay, if I don't fulfill with this, the Lord must punish me for it. So it's, and as I said in the introduction, very interesting that it's Yehovah who's being called on to do this and to add on to this, and it's Yehovah who adjudicates the vow. In other words, it's Yehovah who's saying, okay, you got to fulfill what you've been saying, stick with it. Okay, and this vow then is made before Yehovah, indicates that here Ruth has made a commitment to Yehovah and to God and to his people, and so ko asa, Yehovah, ko asif, beni u benech. Remember, we've had the first person and the single person, but here we're back to, actually, this is a little bit more of a preposition, between, okay? Between bani, between me, okay? Bani, ubanech, and between you, okay? So between me and between you. It's right at the end of this particular verse, and what you've seen is up to now, it's been you and me, you and me, you and me, and all of a sudden, me and you. That's how it ends up here. And it's an interesting turn of events here to switch to you and, or me and you, okay? Between me and you. So from first person to second person, that's how it ends up here, okay? Between me and between you. And in English, we're not going to be translating the second between. It sounds redundant. In Hebrew, they stick it in. Okay, bein, beni, benech, benech, between me and between you. Okay? Bein also as a verb means to understand between. In other words, so it isn't just being there; it's also understanding each other. Okay, beni, benech. Vatomer Ruth al tifgei bi le'asavech lashuv me'achrech ki el asher. Okay. So it's and then Ruth said, Tomer, very nice Miel, accenting us to the front of the word here. Tomer and said, Ruth, el, don't, prohibitive negation here, okay? Please don't. Tif, gay, to insist, to push, to insist, to shove on me. So be gay, okay? Bay, don't clobber me, okay? Be against me, okay? Don't continue insisting on me. This is apparently knowing me, we got very vehement and say, go, get out of here, get out of here. Or if I finally hears it and clears out, but Ruth is sticking around. So don't insist on me. Le azvech, azav is of course abandon, okay? Azav. I always remember this from Psalm 22, verse 1. Eli, Eli, lama azavachtani. Azav. That's ayin bet, and means to abandon. Do not abandon. Okay. Do not insist on me to abandon you. Okay. Lashuv, to follow. And so you have lamed of purpose on the front of a verb. And when you have that, you have an infinitive in order to follow. Me'achrech, from after you, from behind you, from following behind you. Acher is to go behind, and then meh is from, and then to you. Okay, feminine ending here, ending or going behind you. Ki, because. El, asher, to where, to wherever. Okay. And now here's that whole sequence of verbs and nouns. So you had a pair here, you have a pair there, you have a pair right here, and you have a pair right there. So we'll go through it, two at a time here. Telchi, you go. Elech, I am going. Okay? You go, I go. Okay. Telchi, elech. Ba asher, and in where. So you got two words, where you go, and this is in where. Okay. So this is the same. This is a preposition, towards, and this is a preposition in where, to where, and in where. Ba asher. Telini, to which you stay the night, wherever you are staying the night. Okay. Telini. Alin, I am staying the night. I'm staying there too. Okay? Alin. It's foreshadowing of staying also on the threshing floor. Staying the night. Stay the night. I will stay the night. I can really to stay the night. I'm willing to commit. Okay. Telani. Amech, your people. And here we get this is there's no prefix on here. These verbs have prefixes. Okay. These are all prefixes on these verbs. But this is a noun here, and it's just simply a suffix now. Okay. Amech, your people, of you. Ami, people of me. Okay. My people. Ve Elohech, Elohayech, Elohayich. And a little bit different way to say it here. Elohayich, your God. Elohai, my God. Okay, so then you have the yod here. And this one's, the kaf gives you second person, feminine, suffix ending. And this is the yod is a second person feminine ending, singular ending of this particular noun right here. Okay? Be'asher, and then where? Tamuti, and then we're back to verbs here. Tamuti, you die. Amut, I die. Okay? Well, you die, I will die. Besham, and there. Okay. Now, ekaber, I will be buried. Okay, I am buried. And you don't have a tekaber. In other words, you don't have a prefix form of this verb right here. Just simply have the prefix, the first person form here. Don't have the second person form here. But we understand it. In other words, if the person has died, they're going into a tomb, then I also will be buried. She has great hopes, as I said in the introduction. You wouldn't want to profane your family tomb with foreigners, but Ruth at this point really does not consider herself a foreigner anymore, even though throughout the whole story, every time you hear mention of Ruth, it's her nationality. Moab, Moab, Moabite, Moabite, Moabite keeps repeated numerous times all the way through the story. She never loses that, but it becomes one of the beautiful parts of the story. In spite of being a Moabite, she's accepted into God's people. So it's Ekaber to the point of being buried there. Without doubt, they were willing to have her buried there. Incidentally, talking about tombs, the tomb of Rachel is right near Bethlehem, and this took place before. Okay, so if we're talking about getting buried, yeah, she was buried somewhere close to where Rachel was buried, because Rachel died when she was close to Bethlehem and was buried in a tomb there. There's a tomb there, just very close to Bethlehem. That's Rachel's tomb. It's a point of a lot of contention between Palestinians and Jewish people. It used to be freely shared between Palestinians and Israelis. Now Israelis put up a security wall, and Palestinians find it almost impossible to visit the tomb of Rachel's tomb just because of all the security restrictions of going through the wall. So it's a touchy subject now. This place where Rachel is buried here. Okay, so ekaber, to be, I will be buried. Ko, and so Ya'asa Yehovah, and thus will do. This time around, if you take a look, you'll see that this particular verb is completely and very thoroughly vowel pointed. Okay, Ya'ase. You got the patah, hatef patah, segol. And so we're going to be pronouncing all the syllables of this particular verb here. Ya'aseh, Yehovah. And in the previous Katif Kare that we saw of this particular verb, they just dropped the pointing off that second syllable. We're going to only pronounce the first one, Ya'as, and that was it. You didn't say Ya'aseh. Here we say Ya'aseh. Jehovah will do, should do, okay? Jehovah will do. Li, towards me, against me. Veko, and so, okay, you got so and so. Yosef, this is to add, and very much a verb based on Joseph. Okay, Yosef, you add on. Okay, Joseph is the added on person, and this is the verb form of that particular sequence. Samek pe, Yosef, and he will add it on. He will load it on. He will really get to me if I would break this vow. So she's calling on Jehovah here to stand or to adjudicate this particular vow. Okay? V'kol Yoshif ki mavet, so that the death. Okay? What we've had here are two verb forms of dying. Okay, you die, I will die, and here you have the noun form, substantive form of hamavet, death. Okay, the death, with an article in front of it, so that the death, yaparid, will separate be'eni, between me, and be'enech, and between you. Okay? So that the death, the only thing that will separate us is mavet, and this mavet will then place the separation between me and between you. As long as we are living here, this is what Ruth is saying, as long as we are living, I will be sticking with you, and we will go the course. Like I said, it's fine, it's great to use this particular passage for if you want to preach it or meditate on it in the context of a wedding ceremony. Fine, you can start out by saying very clearly, well, this is a daughter-in-law talking to a mother-in-law, making this kind of commitment. But this is the kind of commitment it takes to keep a family together. We tend to, in Western culture, we tend to see the family as just husband and wife and whatever children have to be born to that pair. In Eastern cultures and other cultures, even all the way into India, the way the family is seen, it's you are part of a much larger picture. And when Ruth made this commitment here to Naomi, she knew she was connecting herself to a much larger picture. In other words, she was going to be joining a family, and all the rules and all of the ways that the customs and dictates of the family were going to be a part of her as well. And that's what she was making, this commitment to remain part, to stay in the family, and to serve in the family, and to be part of the family. And so it's just a beautiful concept. Uh, Getting back to the theological thinking, we are part of the family of God. In other words, we make this kind of commitment to stay with the Lord, but the Lord also makes the commitment to care for us through the family of God. So make this commitment. Learn from Ruth. Learn from Naomi. Learn from our Lord and Savior, and remain committed to the family of God. May God bless you and God strengthen you in this day. Until the next time.